Greetings, seekers after enlightenment. Yes, it is the Irish fella. Yeah, believe me, brothers, you need to keep your head on a swivel these days to keep your integrity, sanity, and freedom. And I want to make a point of making a shout out to HANMMERHAND, Red Pill Elite, and R.P.M. for their contributions to the Manosphere and their recent videos, which motivated me to produce this one. Way back in the day, before I owned one, I took a motorcycle safety course. In this classroom setting, I was exposed to an acronym called SIPD. It is a process where you continually examine your environment for potential hazards and develop a plan to deal with them. Excuse me. First is S, or scan. Things constantly change and you have to be aware of your environment. I, identify. When a situation changes, conduct careful data gathering. P, predict. Perform analysis. What could the outcome be if you take or avoid a certain action? D, decide. Have an action plan that is simple and effective. And E, execute when the time is right. People in the military, especially in the combat arms, and those who live in the hood, have developed a strong talent for situational awareness. That I had this talent and I could still use it was revealed to me starkly when I returned home to Buffalo, New York for 2 funerals. For the first, the family was with me. My son was only 4 years old, but he was upset that he couldn't play outside. I wouldn't let him. For a stranger, especially a white one in the hood, becomes an instant target. And I was surprised that the old habits that kept me safe were still there. Holding car keys in your hand so you're not wasting time digging them out of your pocket with your back turned. With a good grip so you can stab somebody if you have to. Looking around in all directions when moving to your car. And not relaxing until everyone is in the car, the doors are locked, and the engine's running. For the second, I was alone, so I did not have to worry about anybody but myself. So whenever I went outside, I was wearing a coat with deep pockets because this was right around Christmas and New Year's. And I had one hand on a knife at all times. I was ready to throw down just in case things went sideways. And thinking about it, it was that same skill that helped me develop my talent for martial arts, most notably stealth. I've lost track of a lot of those skills, but to this day I am a master at quiet moving and hiding in plain sight. Oh, excuse me. So, what is going to happen in the future? My Negrodamus alter ego is silent for the moment. Yet even a man born without eyes can see that the current culture presents more and more hazard for men. It is a natural and instinctive reaction to withdraw from chaos. My journey into monk mode presented me with challenges on a daily basis. One was a young lady who suddenly appeared in the engineering office spaces attached to the main shop where I worked. It was impossible to go from the copier into the shop area without seeing her. And from the way she angled her desk, and it being very close to a double wide opening with no door, one might think she was doing it on purpose. She was very distracted. But using the SIPD principle, I eventually developed the skill to analyze the situation instantly. I turned the corner, and if I saw she was sitting at her desk, my eyes would automatically go to the wall, the floor, or the papers in my hand. I kept my attention focused elsewhere until I was out of the danger zone. Now, I definitely would not do it today. But there was a time when I was willing to hire women for one or another of my various business ventures. And nowadays, if I was brave and foolish enough to meet a woman for a job interview, I would have full audio and video recording running before she arrived. And when she got there, I'd tell her, I'm recording. You got a problem with that? Yes, meeting's over. See ya. Now, I know you lurkers and haters in the audience. Yes, that Negrodamus is whispering in my ear now. You're saying, well, you sound crazy. You sound like a ranting paranoid. Well, all I can say is, it is not paranoia if they really are out to get you. As an example, consider Lena Dunham. I looked, but I cannot find the exact quote, since the elites have scrubbed that item from easy online searches. But I remember the details. She said, basically, that innocent men having their lives destroyed by a false allegation, that's not important. The movement is what is important. So, let me share a pertinent example with you. In Canada, a man named Gian Gomeshi was accused of sexual assault. Before charges were even filed, he was fired from his job. Eventually, almost a dozen women came forward claiming inappropriate conduct of one type or another. He was officially charged with 4 counts of sexual assault, and the one that really made the feminists mad, 1 count of overcoming resistance by choking. Now, as the trial went on, there were issues. Many of the accusers had inconsistencies in their stories. And there were text messages presented by the defense that did not quite support the accuser's version of events. Now, really now, if you claim someone tried to choke you out, would you send that person a text later saying, quote, I love your hands, unquote? Get the fuck out of here with that Mickey Mouse bullshit. So, he was found innocent of almost all charges, and they were considering filing another charge against him, but it was dropped. So, Canada's legislature acted quickly, creating a new law, because obviously they had to correct the hazardous situation. Yeah. Well, now, if the defense wants to show evidence about a woman's sexual history, they must use a, quote, CBOYER application, according to the new bill C-51, to prove that the information is relevant. Now, you might be saying, well, hell, that's not a bad idea. I mean, why are you going to bring up texts that have nothing to do with this situation? But, see, when you look behind the curtain, here's what's actually happening. Now the prosecution has a peek in how the defense is organized. And that allows them to tailor their case and get witnesses to adjust their testimony to ensure that the accused is found guilty regardless of evidence or lack thereof. I mean, if you think I'm just blowing smoke up your ass, just check out how things are in Spain. Oh, I saw this YouTube video. It was just awful. Just the accusation of a woman claiming domestic violence without needing to present a speck of evidence is enough for a conviction. When the man appears in court, literally all he can do is make a statement and then he's found guilty. Even Ray Charles can see this is an intolerable situation. Brothers, we are men living in what is becoming an increasingly toxic environment. These disgusting feminist mutants and their blue-pilled sycophants will continue to act. And yes, there's another whisper from Negrodamus, you watch it. Just like they're doing with this COVID mandate bullshit. Soon they'll be passing laws to make it more and more difficult for men like us to exist independently away from the matriarchy. A smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. A foolish man makes the same mistakes over and over. So, I'm presenting this not as a means of ego gratification, but merely a humble example to show you that your red pill knowledge combined with experience does produce hard-won wisdom. And I'm obligated to share the results of my own struggle and triumph. We're obligated to support, protect, and defend each other. No one else is. No one else gives a damn about us as men. All they care about is what they can take from you by lying or by force. And it doesn't bother me, if this message gets passed on and eventually they forgot where it came from, because I see I'm having an impact. And that's enough for me. Because this philosophy is larger than one person. And I'm just a humble man doing my part, trying to increase the enlightenment of those around me. So remember, brothers, you cannot operate in this world blind to the threat existing. And you do not need to tap dance in a relationship minefield. You have red pill wisdom, enough to navigate that hazardous area or avoid it entirely. There is immense satisfaction that comes with emerging in monk mode. Excuse me, and if I dare say so, having a waifu. So, traveler, as you continue your journey, I hope you take time to think about what you have heard here today, and please remember, I still say, the best years of your life have not happened yet.